What's up, guys? Welcome to the CT Real Estate Guys podcast. I'm your host, Mike.
And I'm your host, Lance. And this is the coolest real estate podcast in the world.
Woo! All right, so first episode. Today, me and Lance are going to be talking about being young real estate agents, how we got into real estate, what we're doing, and what you can do too. So to start off, my name is Mike Baldwin. I'm 26 years old. Done basically everything there is to do in real estate. So I've done residential sales, property management, I've flipped some houses, I've done a lot of foreclosure work, and I've managed an office. So yeah, it's been quite a journey, and I know a little bit about most things in the industry. So today I'm hoping to give some advice to people who are young and they're looking to become a real estate agent. So Lance, what's up with you?
All right, my name is Lance Canby. I'm 24, been licensed for a year and a half. I started out doing REO and rentals on the side of that. Now moved more towards in the later stages of my short career, doing more retail, and I stuck with the rentals. I really got into real estate to build wealth. So I was researching investing and things like that. I figured getting licensed would be the easiest way into the industry, the easiest way to learn everything I can, and then to be prepared for when I am ready to make that next step and invest some of my own money. I do think I have a wealth of knowledge to share about being a young real estate agent, since I still am pretty new and pretty young. So let's see how it goes. Hopefully I can offer some great advice for you guys.
Cool. Yeah, I actually pretty much got into real estate for the same reason. I want this podcast to be as open as possible. So I'll say that, at the time I became an agent, it was mostly because I didn't know what to do. So basically, I was at a time in my life where just switched majors, and I was reading a lot of books, trying to figure out what might work for me. And I read this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So that was basically my inspiration to get into real estate, because I was like, wow, everybody in real estate is like a millionaire. Like, if I own these homes, like, I'm never going to have to visit them, and like, I'm going to have amazing tenants, and I'm going to just collect all this rent money. So at the time, investing was probably my number one goal, and getting into real estate just to be an agent and to figure out the processes was sort of what I was thinking at the time. But now it's developed into a lot more, and I've also realized that there's a ton of ways that you can make money in real estate. So while I do know a bit about investing, and I've been a landlord, I've flipped some properties. There's a lot that you can do here. So we're going to get into that today a little bit more. So first of all, I guess, if you're looking to become a real estate agent, we're going to touch briefly on how to get your license. So Lance, for young guys out there who are trying to decide their next career move, how do you think getting a license is? Is it hard? Is it easy?
No, definitely not difficult. I say, if you're determined to do it and you really want to do it, definitely go for it. The only thing you really need to do to start off is find a school or where they're offering the course around you. It's a 60-hour course. Mine was, I believe, 8 weeks, 3 days a week for 3 hours a day, and they'll teach you everything you need to know about the laws per se. They'll teach you, what not to do for the most part. And after you complete that course, at the end of mine, I had to pass an exam from them. They gave my certificate, and I took that to a testing station, took the general real estate knowledge portion, the state-specific real estate knowledge portion, and after that, you can then affiliate with a brokerage.
Cool. Yeah, and just to touch on this too, from my standpoint, when I first started doing real estate is a great way to supplement your income. And one of the main reasons that it is so great and easy is that there's literally no barrier to entry. All you do is you take the 60-hour course, you get affiliated and, pass your tests, all that stuff,
right.
And you're in. So, I mean, it's not to say that there's not hard work there, but I think it's something that most people can do.
Yeah,
so,
right.
I mean, if you're thinking about it at all, I would recommend doing it. Just because, I mean, there's not many consequences, if you decide that you don't want to make it your career.
Right.
Since,
and the course itself, too, is not, I don't want you to go into it thinking that they're going to, quiz you and you got to, pass the course. Really, you're paying for this course. They will take the time to, sit with you and teach you what you need to know. If you have any questions, you can definitely ask them. You need to look at this course as more as just getting prepared for the test itself, the exam that's going to get you the certificate so that you can go and affiliate with the brokerage of your choice. Don't get too caught up or intimidated by the course itself, because it's really just extra practice before you get into the field.
Right. And it'll teach you, sort of, if you like real estate or not.
Yeah.
If you find it somewhat interesting, it's a good idea to keep going. If you hate it, I mean, you still might want to keep going.
Yeah.
Because honestly, the course it's pretty dry.
Yeah.
But it will give you some information about, how to get into the profession and what it's all about.
And they definitely don't touch on all of the fields or anywhere near a number, of all the fields that you can get into. So just, take it lightheartedly, and if you're even remotely interested, I'd say just keep going with it, because there's definitely an opportunity out there.
Definitely. And I guess right now, I want to take this time to do our little plug. Speaking about affiliation, this podcast is brought to you by Exclusive Properties, CT, located in Newington, Connecticut. We're going to post all of our contact info in the link section, so check that out. Let's get into that though. Affiliation. How do you think how did you go about finding the perfect brokerage for you?
Yeah.
And how do you think other people should go about it?
Definitely. I definitely think the thing to keep in mind when you've passed your course and you're searching, interviewing brokers, is to remember that you are interviewing them, right? Of course, you want to go into the building and you want to be, dressed nicely and all the things that I'm sure you're assuming you should watch out for. But really remember that this brokerage is going to be responsible for training you and really teaching you everything you need to know to be prepared to do whatever you want to do, accomplish all of your real estate goals. So instead of being intimidated by these people, really get to know them, get a feel for the office, look around, especially if your interview is obviously physical. Look around, ask a million questions, make sure you inquire about training, because they are going to be responsible for your success in real estate, for sure. I mean, you want to get in touch, or make sure you really get a good feel for if they care about the agents that work under them. Yeah,
I totally agree with all of that, and I just want to let everybody in on a little secret here. You don't actually get hired to work at a brokerage. You can work at literally any brokerage you want, doing anything you want, and actually, once you sign up for your real estate classes, you're going to start getting all these ads in the mail, oh, come work for us, we're the best ever. So it's more of people courting you. You should see what the best deal you can get is. You should see who is offering the resources that will help you be successful. And I think one really important aspect of this is doing your networking. So definitely check out all the brokerages, but do some things you're interested in as well. And for me and Lance, since we were both interested in investment properties, that's sort of how we got started, by networking in that niche. And for me, it was CT RIA, which is a CT real estate investment group. You go there to network, to talk about real estate and stuff. And I think the brokers who are there, for me personally at least, were the type of people who I wanted to work with, because they're out there, doing their thing, trying to increase their network and, actually being active on something that was completely voluntary. So I knew that those were the types of people that were going to help me advance my career.
Yeah, absolutely. And, moving more towards talking about, the beginning or starting your real estate career, networking is definitely a key aspect in the beginning. You really want to be out in front of people, letting them know exactly what you do, how you can, make yourself valuable to their goals, their real estate goals, whatever they want to do. You want to make sure that they know that you can help them out, and that you're ready to go and you're motivated, knowledgeable, and if you don't know, that you're hungry for the knowledge and you can go get it for them.
Exactly. And it's never too early to start doing that. So I'd say once you're secure in your decision, meaning that you want to become a real estate agent, just shout it out there. Like, I would say be borderline annoying. Like, let every person in your network know that, hey, I'm going to be a real estate agent. And that's going to do two things. It's one, it's going to start building up your client base, because people are like, oh, like, my friend is a real estate agent. I trust my friend, and they're going to work with you. You pull like different types of clients in later on, but usually the first people you're going to work with are your friends. And, the second thing it's going to do is it's going to draw attention to you in terms of, finding the correct broker. Because it's likely that, if you say you're going to be a real estate agent, people are going to reach out to you, and hopefully it's somebody you know. I mean, I'd say that would be ideal.
Absolutely. And again, your social media presence is really going to elevate your game as an agent. So never too early to get started there. And next piece of advice I'd offer when you're getting started is get on the phone. Call everyone just talk to them about real estate. Everyone wants to talk about real estate. Everyone's interested in what's going on. So get on the phone. If you're not on the phone talking to anyone throughout this business, you're probably not going to make any money. You really want to get on the phone and have your phone ringing as well. Make your phone ring. So if you know somebody who's doing anything, moving, anything like that, you want to be the guy that they call. So you can make sure your phone is ringing. Definitely,
man. So I guess let's talk about what are some of the opportunities in real estate for new agents, because there's a lot out there and people don't really know what it is besides like selling residential houses. So I think I'll take this on just a little bit to share some of my experiences. But when you're looking for a job in real estate, I think one of the things people are a little bit afraid about is that they're not going to get like a salary. So I mean, if you're looking to make this your career, I'd like to mention that getting your license opens the door to a ton of different salaried jobs. Some require a college degree, but most likely none of them are going to require one. So like if you get your license, you can have a full-time job. And some of the things that we've done are property management, REO, and you can also be entrepreneurial and start your own thing. It's pretty easy to start a property management company. You don't even have to be a broker, you just have to be sponsored. So once you get that license, you can get out there and really do your thing. But I guess, let's talk about some of the different opportunities and, how that works with money management. So, like, Lance, when you were just starting out, how did you, hustle and, do your thing when you weren't just doing residential sales?
Sure. So off the bat, I definitely suggest, if you do have a job that you don't hate the most, or maybe you can tolerate it for a little bit longer, just stick it out until you can figure out how to run your business efficiently, because it is going to be tough in the beginning when your phone's, again, not ringing, when you don't have, contacts to pick up the phone and call, or you've called all your contacts and, you're just sitting there like, okay, well, what now, right? The business has to, pick up. So I definitely suggest keeping something on the side. If that's not an option for you, or if you're really just tired of punching the clock, which was exactly how I felt, you could hustle rentals on the side. So, obviously, it takes a little less time or it can be really quick for at least to, get signed and for a deposit to get submitted. And you can definitely work that angle. There's leasing agents that can make up to, I've seen 60, 70K a year. Obviously they're hitting it really hard, and they have their systems in place. But you can really build a business around that. And if you're good at it, you may even move away from residential and just stick to leases. So that's an option. And also I even suggest, as a newer agent, right, you're going to be working with sellers at some point, hopefully, and maybe even banks. I would definitely talk to my broker about possibly setting up an account and getting work for BPOs. So a BPO is a broker price opinion, and they can pay up to $70. The cheapest one I've seen was maybe like 45. So 45 to $70.
Let me add something. Like, I'm like the BPO king here. I've done like 2,500 BPOs over my career, and dude, they're annoying, but I will say they're an amazing source of income because no one else wants to do them. And if you get good at them, I've been paid like up to $150 for them. So I mean, that, like, everybody's different. You may never get to that point, but I just wanted to add, like, if you really hit those hard, like, people have actually made a career out of that too, which is to me a bit crazy because every time I do like 20 BPOs in a week, I'm pulling my hair out.
Fried. Your brain is just tired.
I mean, that's $1,000.
Yeah.
I mean, 20 times the average is usually at $50. That's $1,000 straight into your pocket.
Yeah.
If you're doing BPOs, your broker shouldn't be taking any percentage of that because, like, come on, it's $50.
Yeah.
But all right, continue. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're
there.
good.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm just saying it more on the way of, if you are a newer agent and you need some money on the side, you might have to bite the bullet on a couple of situations, and this might be one of them. I look at it as a learning opportunity because, again, when your seller client wants to know exactly how much their house is worth, you're gonna know exactly how much it's worth when you've done 100 or 200 or even 50 BPOs, right? You just want to get that practice in, and that's what a BPO is valuing a property for the banks. So you pick 3 sold comps, 3 active. Fill in the info and give them a good number. It's good practice.
Yeah. And, we can get more into valuation later in the investing podcast and stuff like that. But, it's an amazing skill to have in your bag. And, as we're talking about this, the one thing that I'm constantly reminded of is when I started doing real estate, like, I had to get out there and hustle. Like, I just said yes to all the stuff that nobody wanted to do. And if you just keep doing that consistently, like, you're gonna make money. Because, like, there's agents out there and they have so many tasks and they don't want to do them all because they're making more money in different places.
Yeah.
But $500 to the guy who's making $100K plus a year is nothing. $500 to me, like, hell yeah, give me $500, man, So get out there, do the BPOs. Nobody wants to do rentals. Do the rentals. And property management, man, that is another gold mine for young people because, again, you need a ton of energy to do it. It's definitely tough. And, again, we could dedicate a whole podcast to this. But starting a property management company with an open-minded real estate broker who will hold your license, that's the key right there. It does not cost anything. Zero capital to start. It's just something that you have to have the right mindset for. And there are a lot of pitfalls, a lot of mistakes that you can make, but, if you really want to learn about real estate, like, that's a great way to go. So I guess, we talked about hustling, we talked about the different opportunities that people have. Is there anything else you want to add that you think is very useful for a young real estate agent to know, or do you think there's something that shaped your career personally that you want to mention? Like something that people have to do?
I'd say you hit the nail on the head with being a yes man. That's definitely going to get you, put you in situations where you can, support yourself and take a little bit of the stress off. I'd even suggest, or one more suggestion I could add would be to, ask one of the busier agents in your office if you could help them out at all, right? Offer them your time and, see what you can get out of it. Maybe they can, pay you a little something or, just being involved with whatever they're doing, as long as it's, related to real estate, you're going to be learning something. You're going to be seeing documents, executed correctly. You're going to see how busy another agent or a busy agent can get. And you just get some familiarity with the tasks that you'll be completing yourself when you get the business running.
Yeah, excellent advice. I mean, we should have put a bullet for this. I can't believe we didn't, but mentorship, like, I think that's the biggest thing in real estate. And going back to the whole brokerage thing, when you pick out a brokerage, it really should be with a broker who's going to be your mentor. However, it's tough to find somebody who isn't running around all the time, who can really take the time to sit you down and teach you stuff. So I think one of the most important things is finding a mentor. And how do you do that? Basically by kissing up a little bit, by doing those difficult tasks. And I mean, you should be compensated for it, but I can't guarantee that you'll find somebody who will compensate you. So right. I mean, just go out there, find a busy agent, and see what you can do. Everything
in real estate is negotiable, though. So that's negotiation skills, right? If you can negotiate with someone to make them, pay you for your time, which your time is valuable, then you'll get paid for it. But if not, that's on you.
Yeah, but I mean, going back to this whole thing too, there's really nothing better than real world experience. Yeah. And most brokerages, they're going to offer some sort of training program, but in my experience, it's not helpful, because what are you telling me how to do? Yeah. I mean, if you put up a PowerPoint and it's just all right, this is a contract, folks, and you fill in the name here, I'm asleep. But if somebody else is hey, I mean, I need you to fill out these contracts for me. Yeah. I'll teach you the first time. Then after that, I'll give you $20 for each contract you do. Then I'm $20, dude.
Yeah, right.
That's some Mickey D's. That's Mickey D's for 2 days,
yeah,
maybe
right.
20 days if you're only ordering off the dollar menu and eating once a day.
There you go. Real estate agent math when you're on the road.
Yep.
Oh man. But let's get into. So I mean, there are some things that could be daunting, or make you stray away from trying this out if you're a little bit younger. But let's get into what an advantage or some advantages are to being young in real estate, right? Because
definitely
it's not all bad being young. Some people are going to look at you, a little funny, oh, this 24-year-old is going to help me sell my house, or what does he know about real estate, right? But like I said, you really set your own image in here in the real estate industry, and just put forward a professional image, and make sure that you're prepared, right? Do your homework. And I think if you present the fresh face, right? Fresh face angle, and that you have a lot of energy and that you're hungry for the knowledge, then you'll definitely get ahead in the business.
Definitely. I mean, there's so many things to this. I mean, I guess the first thing that I would say is that, when I first started off, I was definitely scared. I mean, I was 21 years old, and just thinking about the numbers in your head, you're I've never seen $100,000 before. I've never seen $300,000 before. But I mean, in my first year of real estate, I sold a $400,000 property, and that was huge to me. But the thing is, people don't have to know your age. It's not something that you have to advertise. I mean, your friends might know it, whatever. But at the end of the day, just present yourself professionally, and you're going to get ahead. None of this, fake it till you make it stuff. I don't believe in that. But with preparation and, with the right attitude, you can do anything. I mean, that is super true. So,
and also being young, we definitely have the advantage of growing up with technology. So we could definitely offer, just let your clients know, hey, or, potential clients, anyone you're courting to sign that representation and agreement with you. It's hey, I've been involved in real estate, or I've been involved in real estate for this much time, but, I have systems, or I know how to make my computer work in ways that, some of the older agents just really aren't going to be acclimated to at all. I can get you set up on this, or, really find out, what angle you want to work it at. There's different things that you can do, but we have the advantage of being savvy with our devices, and that'll definitely help us and help our sellers, achieve their goals, buyers achieve their goals. It's definitely a tool.
Absolutely. And for me, I've been in real estate, for the entirety of the digital age. Like, it is crazy for me to think about what people used to do before, like, GPS, and
right.
what people used to do, when they had to go to the office to get, like, HUD keys, and there's no lockbox, and this and that, like the crazy driving and the navigation. And, oh, man, REO, dude, taking actual pictures, getting them developed, pasting them to, like, a sheet of paper, and mailing it overnight to HUD, like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the digital age and, like, social media, everything, the computer in real estate is your best friend. And absolutely, I'd say we know the most. I mean, come on.
Definitely.
Like, there's definitely some old head real estate agents that are out there doing their thing, trying their best, and they've taken some courses, but, like, it's the best when it comes naturally. And I think, having an open mind in real estate is extremely important as well. The computer has made real estate more of a commodity because, all the data is always readily available. What all the comps are in the neighborhood easily, and, basically people are experts at pricing houses now. So the role of the real estate agent is changing a little bit. But as a young person, you can take advantage of that, like, very, very easily. So I'd say that's the key to success right there.
Definitely.
All right, so I think, we pretty much covered everything we wanted to talk about today. I think it's a good idea of what it's like being a young real estate agent and how to be a young real estate agent. But let's get some final thoughts in here for us. I mean, we're going to do this every podcast. Usually we're going to ask the interviewee, but, since we're just doing a host podcast today, I'll start with asking you, Lance. What do you love about real estate, and what do you hate about real estate? Just those two things, and don't think about it too much.
All right, what do I love? I love not having to punch a time clock. I love making my own schedule, and just the potential to, build a business that can really give me a comfortable lifestyle. I have no problem talking to people or, doing any of the things in real estate. I'm just working on building my business and, taking it to the next level whenever I can. And I guess one thing I would hate or dislike about real estate is unrealistic expectations, and that can come from, any direction. It's just really, it slows things down, and I just try to educate people, keep them grounded and down to earth. I guess I don't really hate it that much, just dislike it, I guess. But
yeah, it's an extreme
too
word,
tough.
but
nothing too tough for me to to mediate.
Got you. Makes total sense. For me, I think what I love and hate is almost the same thing. I mean, real estate, it's a really complicated subject, but I love how easy it is to get into real estate. It's the same with all sales, really, but anybody can get into it, anybody can do it, but it's the survival of the fittest that really determines success. So, your output is directly affected by your input, meaning that, if you try hard, you're going to do well. So, don't be nervous getting into this. Anybody who tries hard can make it. But at the same time, I would like to say that, because the barriers to entry in real estate are so low, the market is overly saturated and it produces a lot of incompetence. So don't ever be scared that, there's so many agents doing this or doing that, because with effort, you'll be good. So that's my final thought there. All right, guys. So thanks for listening today to the CT Real Estate Guys podcast, and be sure to check the links in the description. Thanks.
See you guys. Gotta go.